There is a deep rhythm that governs the flow of everything in life. This rhythm is unseen, but it is constant, guiding all things into perfect alignment. When you desire something, when you dream of a specific outcome, you set into motion an unseen force that begins to rearrange the fabric of your reality to bring it to you. But often we overlook one crucial truth: everything unfolds in divine timing. Everything in life is governed by an invisible order, a natural flow that moves things into place with precision beyond our comprehension. It may be hard to accept, especially when we are eager to see our desires fulfilled. But there is a divine intelligence at work that aligns every event, circumstance, and person to bring about exactly what we need at the perfect moment. This concept of alignment suggests that nothing happens by accident. Every experience, every delay, and even every obstacle serves a purpose in the grand design of your life. When you understand that everything happens in perfect alignment, you begin to see that your life is not a series of random events, but a carefully orchestrated sequence. Each moment is like a thread in a grand tapestry, and while you may only see a small part of the design, the universe sees the full picture. What seems chaotic or disconnected on the surface is actually part of an intricate pattern. The same universal laws that guide the movement of stars and planets are at work in your life, arranging things in such a way that your desires can be fulfilled in the most harmonious way possible. One of the most profound realizations you can come to is that your desires are not separate from this divine order. The moment you set an intention or hold a vision in your mind, it becomes part of the cosmic dance. The universe begins to move people, circumstances, and events to support that vision, even if you can't yet see it. However, the key to understanding alignment is realizing that it doesn't always unfold according to your timeline or in the way you might expect. Sometimes what you perceive as a delay or an obstacle is actually a realignment, a necessary shift to ensure that everything is in perfect harmony for your desire to manifest. Consider this: when you plant a seed in the ground, you do not expect it to sprout overnight. There is an incubation period, a time when the seed must be nourished by the soil and nurtured by the elements. If you were to dig it up too soon out of impatience, you would disrupt the natural process and prevent it from reaching its full potential. The same principle applies to your desires. They must go through a period of unseen growth, during which everything in your life must align to support their manifestation. Often we become frustrated or disheartened when we don't see immediate results. We may think that things aren't happening, that our efforts are in vain, or that the universe is ignoring our wishes. But in truth, everything is happening exactly as it should. Just because you cannot see the roots growing beneath the surface does not mean they aren't there. The forces that are working to align your life are often invisible to the naked eye, but they are no less real. It's also important to recognize that alignment doesn't always mean a smooth, effortless path. Sometimes the universe will present you with challenges, delays, or detours. These are not signs that you're off track. Rather, they are opportunities for growth and refinement. In many cases, what looks like a setback is actually part of the alignment process. It may be that certain aspects of your life, whether internal or external, need to shift or adjust in order for your desire to come into being. Perhaps there are lessons to be learned, perspectives to be expanded, or energies to be cleared before you can fully receive what you're asking for. Understanding this broader perspective allows you to let go of the need for immediate gratification. When you trust in the alignment of all things, you no longer feel the pressure to rush or force outcomes. You begin to realize that the universe is always conspiring in your favor, even when it appears otherwise. The delays, the twists, and the turns are all part of the process, guiding you toward your highest good. For example, you may desire a certain career opportunity, and it seems like everything is falling into place, except that you encounter an unexpected obstacle. Rather than seeing this as a failure or a sign that things aren't working out, consider that this obstacle may be a redirection. It may be that the timing wasn't quite right, or that a better opportunity is being prepared for you. In this way, the universe is aligning circumstances in such a way that when you finally do receive your desire, it will be in its most optimal form, and you will be fully ready to embrace it. Alignment often requires your inner world to match the outer world. The universe will not bring you what you desire until you are energetically and mentally aligned with it. This means that your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings must be in harmony with what you seek. If you desire abundance, for example, but you carry feelings of lack or unworthiness, the universe will delay its manifestation until you shift your inner state. This is not a punishment, but rather a way of ensuring that when your desire arrives, it will be in perfect resonance with who you are. When you come to truly understand that everything happens in perfect alignment, you begin to relax into the process of life. You stop resisting what is, and instead you learn to flow with it. You trust that the universe is far more intelligent and aware than your limited perspective allows, and that it is always working to bring about the best possible outcome for you. This shift in mindset frees you from the stress and anxiety of trying to control every aspect of your life, and instead you learn to trust in the timing and alignment of all things. Patience is often misunderstood as a passive state, something associated with waiting without action, or a quiet resignation to delays. However, true patience is far from passive. It is an active, powerful form of faith. It is the ability to remain calm, composed, and trusting, even when what you desire has not yet appeared. Patience is not just about waiting, it is about how you wait. It reflects your inner state of belief that what you want is on its way, even if the timing and the path to its arrival are not clear to you. Faith, in its essence, is the belief in the unseen, the conviction that what you desire is already on its way, even though you may not yet see physical evidence. When you practice patience, you are demonstrating that faith in action. You are signaling to the universe and to yourself that you trust the process, that you trust the divine order that governs all things. Patience, therefore, is a profound form of belief that transcends the need for immediate results. It is acknowledgement that there is a higher intelligence at work, orchestrating the events of your life in a way that will bring about the best possible outcome. In the world of manifestation, patience plays a critical role. The moment you set an intention, the process of bringing that desire into your reality begins. But just because you cannot see immediate results does not mean nothing is happening. Patience allows you to hold faith during the incubation period, where unseen forces are working on your behalf. This period is crucial because it's where the real magic happens. Just like a seed planted in the soil, growth is happening beneath the surface long before you see the first sprout break through. Impatience, on the other hand, disrupts the natural flow of this process. It signals doubt, anxiety, and a lack of trust in the unfolding of your desires. To be patient is to recognize that time is a necessary component in the manifestation of your desires. Time allows all the elements to align, whether that involves people, circumstances, or even your own internal growth. You may desire something immediately, but perhaps you are not yet in the right state to receive it. The universe is not denying you what you want, but rather it is ensuring that when your desire comes, it does so in a way that is perfect and aligned with your highest good. Patience, then, is the recognition that timing is part of the divine order, and that everything will happen in its due course. When you practice patience, you demonstrate a quiet confidence that what you have asked for is already yours. You no longer feel the need to control every step of the process. This doesn't mean you stop taking action, it means that you take inspired action, but without the anxiety or urgency of forcing things to happen. Patience allows you to move through life with a sense of ease, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. In this way, patience is not passive at all. It is an active form of trust, a form of faith that reflects your deep inner, knowing that the universe is working in your favor. Patience also allows for flexibility. When you're impatient, you tend to fixate on one particular outcome or timeline. You may believe that things have to happen in a specific way, and when they don't, you become frustrated or discouraged. But patience allows you to remain open to the many different ways your desire can manifest. It keeps you receptive to unexpected opportunities or paths that you may not have considered. Often the universe will deliver what you want in a way that exceeds your expectations, but only if you remain patient and open to the possibilities. This form of patience, this act of faith, is especially important during times of difficulty or uncertainty. It's easy to be patient when everything is going according to plan, but true faith is tested when obstacles arise. In these moments, impatience can lead you to doubt the process and abandon your belief. You might begin to question whether what you want is truly possible, or whether the universe is even listening to you. But patience, rooted in faith, allows you to hold steady during these times. It allows you to remain centered and focused, even when external circumstances seem to contradict what you believe is coming. In fact, patience can be the very force that transforms doubt into belief. When you choose to be patient, you are actively choosing faith over fear. You are choosing to trust that there is a reason for the delay, even if you cannot yet see it. This doesn't mean you ignore your doubts or frustrations, but rather that you acknowledge them and then let them go, trusting that the bigger picture is unfolding in ways you may not yet understand. Patience, in this way, strengthens your faith. It teaches you to remain aligned with your desires, even in the face of uncertainty. Moreover, patience allows you to fully prepare for the arrival of your desire. Sometimes the universe uses this time to ready you for what you have asked for. Perhaps there are inner shifts that need to happen, old beliefs that need to be released, new skills that need to be developed, or emotional healing that must take place before you are fully ready to receive. Patience gives you the space to grow into the version of yourself that is ready for the manifestation. It ensures that when your desire arrives, you will not only receive it, but you will also be fully equipped to sustain it. In the end, patience is a demonstration of your faith in the unseen forces at work in your life. It is a choice to trust that everything is happening exactly as it should, even when you cannot see it. By practicing patience, you align yourself with the natural flow of the universe, and in doing so, you allow your desires to come to you in the perfect way and at the perfect time. The moment you set a desire, make a wish, or visualize an outcome, you've already planted the seed of that desire in the fertile soil of the universe. This seed, though invisible to the physical eye, holds within it the potential for everything you've ever wanted. It may seem small or insignificant at first, but within it lies the full blueprint of your manifestation. The seed represents your intention, your hope, and your vision, and once it's planted, it begins to grow, supported by the unseen forces of life. Just as a farmer plants a seed in the ground and trusts that with time, nourishment, and care, it will grow into a strong and fruitful plant, so too must you trust that your desires are taking root beneath the surface of your consciousness. Even though you cannot see immediate results, know that something is happening. The process of growth has already begun, and this invisible stage is just as important, if not more so, than the visible manifestations to come. When you plant a physical seed in the earth, you understand that there is a natural period of germination. You don't dig up the seed every day to check if it's growing because you trust the process. You understand that it needs time in the dark, below the surface, to germinate and begin its journey upward. In the same way, the desires you plant in your mind need time to take root. They require periods of growth that are often unseen, but these are the essential moments where all the magic is happening. What is critical to understand is that planting the seed is an act of creation. By forming a clear intention or vision in your mind, you initiate the process of manifestation. The universe immediately responds, and just like the soil responds to the physical seed, life responds to the intentions you sow in your mind. Every thought, every feeling, and every belief that surrounds this desire contributes to its growth. You may not see it yet, but it is already unfolding in ways you cannot imagine. The seed you planted exists in the realm of potential, a space where all things are possible. This realm operates according to its own timing, and often it doesn't adhere to the strict schedules that our rational minds want to impose. But just because the manifestation isn't immediate doesn't mean the process isn't happening. Growth is often imperceptible at first, but that doesn't diminish its power. The moment you plant the seed, the forces of nature, the forces of the universe begin to work in ways that are beyond your current understanding. It's important to remember that once the seed is planted, it doesn't need to be planted again. You don't have to keep setting the same intention over and over. You don't need to worry if you did it right the first time. The act of planting the seed is a one-time event, but nurturing that seed is an ongoing process. This is where your thoughts, emotions, and actions come into play. The energy you give to the seed determines its growth. If you nurture it with positivity, faith, and trust, the seed will thrive. But if you bombard it with doubt, fear, or impatience, you may slow its progress or hinder its ability to flourish. It is in this nurturing phase that you must remain mindful of what you're feeding the seed. Just as a farmer wouldn't neglect the soil or deprive it of sunlight and water, you must ensure that the thoughts and emotions you cultivate around your desire are aligned with its fulfillment. This is not to say you should force positive thinking or deny any negative feelings that arise. Rather, it's about maintaining a balance where the overall energy you project supports growth, rather than stifling it. Moreover, understand that the seed grows in perfect alignment with the natural order of things, that you don't need to force it to grow. You don't need to obsess over how it will manifest or when. The process has already begun, and your role now is to maintain an inner environment that supports its expansion. Your task is to hold the vision, trust the timing, and allow the seed to unfold at its own pace. Trying to rush the process or doubting the growth only creates resistance, and resistance is the equivalent of blocking sunlight from reaching the seed. Patience is key here, as growth occurs in stages. The seed may first send roots deep into the ground before it sprouts above the surface. This early stage of development is crucial, as the stronger the roots, the more resilient and vibrant the plant will be when it finally emerges. The same is true for your desires. There are often inner shifts that must happen before your external reality begins to change. These shifts could be in your mindset, your emotional state, or even your understanding of what you truly want. These are the roots digging deep into the soil of your consciousness, preparing for the manifestation to come. What's often overlooked is that you are also part of this growth process. As the seed matures, so do you. There is an internal evolution that happens as you wait for your desires to manifest. You learn patience, you build faith, and you become more attuned to the subtle movements of life. These are not passive lessons, they are active forms of growth that prepare you to fully receive what you've asked for. The person you are when you plant the seed may not be the person you need to be when the seed bears fruit, and this is part of the divine timing that guides the process. It's also crucial to trust that the seed you planted will manifest in the best possible way. Often the universe delivers our desires in forms we didn't expect, but that doesn't mean the seed didn't grow. It simply means it grew in a way that was even more aligned with our highest good. Sometimes what you receive is even better than what you originally envisioned, because the universe has a far broader perspective than you do. It sees the interconnectedness of all things and brings about the manifestation in a way that serves not just your immediate desires, but your long-term fulfillment. This process of planting and growing requires a balance of intention and surrender. You've already set the intention, you've already planted the seed. Now your job is to trust, nurture, and allow the natural process of growth to unfold in its own perfect time. Trusting the invisible process is one of the most powerful acts of faith you can engage in, and it is an essential aspect of manifesting your desires. While the physical world often convinces us that what we can see and touch is all there is, the truth is that everything begins in the unseen realm before it becomes tangible. The invisible process is the foundation upon which all creation is built. It is the realm where energy, thoughts, emotions, and intentions coalesce to bring about the experiences we eventually witness in our outer reality. To trust the invisible process means to believe that something is happening behind the scenes, even when there is no visible evidence to confirm it. When you set an intention, visualize a goal, or plant a seed of desire, the process of manifestation begins immediately. It is not always obvious, and the results may not appear in the time frame you expect, but the movement toward your goal is already underway. This invisible process is like the underground growth of a seed. You cannot see the roots forming or the initial shoots breaking through the soil, but that does not mean they are not growing. The invisible process involves forces beyond your conscious understanding, forces that are constantly aligning circumstances, opportunities, people, and experiences to bring about your desires in the best possible way. Just because you cannot observe these forces directly does not mean they aren't working. Trusting in this process requires a deep belief that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if it appears to be happening slowly or not at all from your current perspective. There is a greater intelligence at work, guiding the unfolding of your desires, and your task is to trust that it knows the right time, place, and manner in which your desires will manifest. It's easy to doubt the invisible process, especially when faced with delays, obstacles, or the lack of immediate results. The physical world often trains us to rely on instant gratification. If we don't see something happening right away, we begin to question whether it's happening at all. But manifestation doesn't operate on a linear timeline. The universe works in ways that are often nonlinear and multidimensional. Sometimes the unfolding of your desire requires shifts and changes that you can't perceive yet. These changes might involve moving pieces that are beyond your awareness, people you've never met, situations you haven't yet encountered, or internal transformations that need to occur before you're ready to fully receive what you've asked for. When you trust the invisible process, you free yourself from the anxiety and pressure of needing to control every step of the manifestation. You shift your focus from the how and when to the more important aspects: your belief, your feelings, and your alignment with the outcome you desire. The more you trust, the more you allow the natural flow of life to work its magic. You stop interfering with unnecessary worry or doubt, and instead you create space for the universe to deliver your desire in the most perfect way. One of the most liberating aspects of trusting the invisible process is that it allows you to release the need for constant validation. You don't have to check for signs every day or question whether things are moving in your favor. You trust that the universe is always working on your behalf, even in moments of silence or apparent stillness. Just like the roots of a tree grow deep into the soil before the first leaves appear, there are layers of development happening that you may not be able to see or measure, but they are crucial to the final manifestation. Trusting the invisible process also means embracing the unknown. Often the path to your desire is not straightforward, and you may find yourself navigating twists and turns that you hadn't anticipated. These detours are not setbacks, they are part of the invisible process. Sometimes the universe needs to take you on an indirect route to help you grow, develop new perspectives, or learn important lessons that will make the manifestation even more meaningful. The invisible process ensures that when your desire does manifest, it will do so in a way that is perfectly aligned with your highest good. In many ways, trusting the invisible process is about surrendering control. It doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive, rather. It's about acknowledging that there is a greater intelligence at work, one that sees the bigger picture and knows the most efficient and harmonious way to bring about your desires. By trusting the process, you align yourself with this intelligence. You allow yourself to be guided by it, rather than trying to force things to happen on your own terms. Another crucial element of trusting the invisible process is cultivating patience. Patience is not about waiting idly for something to happen. It's about holding a steady belief that everything is progressing exactly as it should. Patience allows you to maintain your alignment with your desire, even in the absence of visible evidence. It prevents you from becoming discouraged or abandoning your goals when things seem slow. Patience is a powerful affirmation of your faith in the invisible process. It's a statement to the universe that you trust the timing and the unfolding of your desires. Trusting the invisible process also invites you to focus on your internal world rather than obsessing over external results. The process of manifestation is deeply connected to your inner state, your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. When you trust the process, you prioritize your inner alignment over the external outcome. You focus on becoming a vibrational match to your desire, knowing that as long as you maintain the right inner frequency, the outer world will eventually reflect it. This shift in focus allows you to stay grounded, peaceful, and confident, even in moments of uncertainty. Trusting the invisible process opens you up to unexpected blessings and opportunities. When you're fixated on a specific outcome or timeline, you can become blind to other possibilities that the universe may present. By trusting the process, you remain open and receptive to these possibilities. Often, the universe delivers your desires in ways that are far beyond what you originally envisioned. But if you're too focused on controlling every detail, you may miss out on these miraculous twists of fate. Trusting the process ensures that you remain flexible and open to receiving what's truly in alignment with your highest potential. Trusting the invisible process is about aligning yourself with the flow of life. It's about believing in the unseen forces that are always working for your good, even when you can't detect their movements. When you trust the process, you step into a space of ease, allowing life to unfold in its own time and its own way. You maintain a sense of inner peace, knowing that everything is always working out for you, even if the evidence isn't immediately visible. Releasing attachment to control is one of the most crucial steps in allowing your desires to manifest effortlessly. It's a paradox. The more you try to control every detail of how something should unfold, the more resistance you create, and the further away the outcome seems to drift. This resistance is born out of fear, the fear that if you don't personally handle every part of the process, nothing will go right. But in reality, the need to control stems from a lack of trust in the flow of life, in the greater intelligence that governs all things, and in the inherent order of the universe. When you attach yourself too tightly to control, you narrow the scope of what's possible. You become fixated on specific outcomes, certain timelines, and rigid expectations about how your desires should manifest. This creates a bottleneck in the natural flow of creation. Imagine trying to force a seed to grow faster by digging it up every day to check on its progress. This constant interference only stunts its development. In the same way, when you try to control every aspect of how your desires come to fruition, you disrupt the invisible process that is already in motion. You block the natural progression that could lead to outcomes even better than you imagined. Releasing control doesn't mean abandoning your desire or becoming passive, rather. It means letting go of the obsessive need to micromanage the how and when. It means trusting that once you have planted the seed of your intention, the universe is already orchestrating the most harmonious way for it to unfold. Control often arises from a place of fear or insecurity, a belief that if you don't hold tightly to every detail, then things will go wrong. But in truth, this need for control actually creates a sense of scarcity. You begin to operate from a mindset that believes things won't work out unless you force them to. Letting go of control requires faith. Faith in the invisible forces that govern life, faith in the idea that the universe always knows the best path, and faith in your own ability to receive what you've asked for. This faith is not blind, it's a deep inner knowing that everything is already working in your favor, even if you can't yet see the results. When you release control, you shift from a mindset of lack and desperation to one of abundance and trust. You no longer feel the need to force outcomes because you know they're already on their way. Releasing control also allows you to be more present in the current moment. Often the need to control is rooted in future thinking, constantly worrying about what might happen, how it will happen, or when it will happen. This pulls your attention away from the here and now. By releasing control, you allow yourself to focus on the present, knowing that each moment is a stepping stone toward the manifestation of your desire. You stop trying to leap to the finish line and instead trust that every experience, every action, and every moment is part of the larger unfolding. When you let go of control, you open yourself up to infinite possibilities. The universe often has a way of delivering what we ask for in ways we couldn't have anticipated or imagined. But when you try to control the process, you limit the ways in which your desire can come to you. You restrict the flow of energy, narrowing your potential outcomes to only what your mind can conceive. Releasing control, on the other hand, allows for serendipity, unexpected opportunities, and outcomes that are far beyond what you could have scripted for yourself. A key aspect of releasing control is understanding that life operates with its own timing. The universe does not work according to the rigid timelines we often set for ourselves. Sometimes, what you desire requires additional time for the right people, circumstances, or opportunities to align. This doesn't mean that your desire isn't coming. It's simply a matter of divine timing. When you release control, you allow this timing to unfold naturally without the stress or anxiety of trying to rush the process. Another benefit of releasing control is the freedom it brings. Control is exhausting. It requires constant effort, mental energy, and emotional strain. You're always trying to steer the ship, even in waters that you don't fully understand. By letting go of control, you free yourself from the burden of having to manage every aspect of your life. You allow the flow of life to carry you where you need to go, trusting that the current knows the best route. This doesn't mean you become passive or inactive. It means that you take inspired action from a place of trust, rather than fear or desperation. Releasing control also cultivates a deeper connection to your intuition. When you're not caught up in trying to dictate every detail, you become more attuned to the subtle guidance that comes from within. Your intuition knows the right steps to take, but it's often drowned out by the noise of fear and the need to control. By letting go, you create space for this inner wisdom to emerge. You begin to act from a place of alignment, making decisions that feel right on a deeper, intuitive level, rather than out of a need to force things into place. It's also important to recognize that control often comes from a place of ego. The ego believes that it must do everything on its own, that it must be in charge of every detail to ensure success. But the truth is that the ego has limited vision. It can only see the small picture, and it often operates from a place of fear, scarcity, and separation. When you release control, you transcend the ego's limited perspective and align yourself with the greater intelligence of the universe. This higher intelligence sees the full picture, understands the interconnectedness of all things, and knows the best way to bring about your desires. Additionally, releasing control fosters a sense of inner peace. When you're not constantly trying to manage every detail or worry about how things will unfold, you create space for relaxation and trust. You begin to live in a state of ease, knowing that life is always working for you. This peace doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from an inner knowing that you are supported, that your desires are already on their way, and that you don't have to control every step of the process to achieve them. This state of peace becomes your foundation, allowing you to move through life with grace and confidence, regardless of what's happening externally. When you release attachment to control, you align yourself with the flow of abundance. Control often operates from a mindset of lack, fear that there won't be enough, that things won't work out unless you make them happen. But the universe is infinitely abundant, and it's always seeking to deliver what you desire in the most harmonious way. When you let go of control, you'll open yourself up to receive this abundance effortlessly. You step into a flow where things begin to fall into place naturally, without the need for force or struggle. This is the true power of releasing control. It allows you to align with the effortless flow of life, where all things are possible. Delays are often misinterpreted as a sign that something is not meant to be, or that your desires are being rejected by the universe. But this perception is rooted in impatience and a lack of trust in the natural unfolding of events. A delay is not a denial, it is a pause, a period of alignment that allows for the perfect orchestration of your desires to manifest in the best possible way. In fact, delays are often a sign that the universe is working behind the scenes, preparing all the necessary pieces to come together in divine timing. When something doesn't happen on your timeline, it's easy to assume that your efforts have been in vain, or that the universe isn't supporting you. But what you must understand is that every delay is purposeful. There are countless factors and forces at play that you may not be aware of, each contributing to the manifestation of your desire. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean that nothing is happening. The delay is simply a part of the process, a necessary period of gestation where everything is being brought into perfect alignment. One of the reasons delays can feel so discouraging is because we often impose arbitrary deadlines on ourselves. We decide that something must happen by a certain date, and when it doesn't, we become disheartened. But these deadlines are often rooted in fear or a scarcity mindset. They are based on the assumption that if something doesn't happen soon, it won't happen at all. This way of thinking only creates anxiety and resistance. In reality, the universe operates on its own timeline, one that is far more expansive and wise than any human-imposed deadline. Delays are a part of this divine timing, ensuring that when your desire does manifest, it does so in the most harmonious and fulfilling way possible. It's important to recognize that delays often serve a higher purpose. They provide you with the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to prepare yourself for the manifestation of your desire. Sometimes what you want isn't ready to appear yet because you aren't yet fully ready to receive it. A delay allows you the time and space to become more aligned with your desire. It gives you the chance to develop the mindset, skills, or inner resources that will enable you to fully appreciate and sustain what you are asking for. This period of waiting is not wasted time, it is a crucial phase of preparation. Delays often protect you from receiving something prematurely. Imagine planting a seed and expecting it to grow into a tree overnight. If you were to receive your desire before all the conditions were right before you were ready, or before all the external elements were in place, it could lead to disappointment or frustration. The delay ensures that everything aligns perfectly, so that when your desire does manifest, it does so in a way that brings maximum fulfillment and joy. The delay is not a rejection but a form of protection, ensuring that you receive what you've asked for at the right time, under the right conditions. Delays also offer you the chance to strengthen your faith and patience. It is easy to trust in the process when things are happening quickly, but it is in the moments of delay that your true level of trust is tested. Can you maintain your belief in your desire, even when there is no visible evidence that it is on its way? Can you remain patient and steadfast, knowing that the delay is simply a part of the process? These moments of waiting are opportunities for you to deepen your connection to your inner knowing, to reaffirm your belief that what you desire is already yours, even if it hasn't yet appeared in your physical reality. Another powerful aspect of delays is that they often lead to something better than what you initially envisioned. The universe has a way of expanding your desires, of bringing you something that far exceeds what you thought possible. But in order to do this, it sometimes requires more time to align all the elements. The delay is not a sign that your desire is being withheld. It is a sign that something even greater is being prepared for you. By allowing this process to unfold, you open yourself up to receive not just what you've asked for, but something that is even more in alignment with your highest good. Delays also allow you to reassess and refine your desires. Sometimes in the waiting period, you gain new clarity about what it is you truly want. What you originally asked for may not be in alignment with your highest potential, and the delay gives you the space to adjust your intention. You may find that what you thought you wanted no longer resonates with you, and in this time of waiting you are able to refine your desire so that it is more in harmony with who you are becoming. The delay in this case is a blessing, allowing you to avoid manifesting something that no longer serves your growth or happiness. In the context of manifestation, timing is everything. The universe is constantly arranging the best possible circumstances for your desire to come into form. Sometimes this requires patience and trust in the process, even when things seem to be moving slowly. The delay is not an indication that you should give up, or that your desire is unattainable. It is simply a part of the unfolding. The key is to remain focused on your vision, to continue nurturing your belief in the inevitability of your desire, and to trust that the delay is serving a higher purpose. When you release the need for immediate results, you allow yourself to move with the flow of life. Rather than against it, you stop resisting the natural unfolding of events and start aligning with the rhythm of the universe. In this phase of trust and patience, you create the ideal conditions for your desire to manifest in the most beautiful and effortless way. The delay, rather than being a source of frustration, becomes an integral part of your journey, a journey that is leading you to exactly what you've asked for, or something even better. Delays also give you the opportunity to practice surrender. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up on your desire. It means letting go of the need to control the timing and method of its manifestation. It means trusting that even though you can't see the full picture, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This surrender is not passive. It is an active, conscious choice to trust in the process, to remain open and receptive to the flow of life. When you surrender to the timing of the universe, you free yourself from the stress and anxiety that often accompany delays, and you allow yourself to move into a state of peace and alignment. Delays encourage you to focus on the present moment. So often we become fixated on the future, on the moment when our desire will finally manifest. But this focus on the future pulls you out of the present, where life is actually happening. The delay is a reminder to come back to the present, to appreciate where you are right now, and to trust that everything is unfolding in its perfect time. In doing so, you align yourself with the flow of life, allowing your desires to manifest naturally and effortlessly, without the need for force or struggle. The key to manifesting your desires is to live as though it's already done. This is not just a mindset, but a way of being that aligns you with the outcome you wish to experience. When you live as though your desire has already manifested, you step into the state of having, rather than hoping or waiting. You move beyond the energy of lack and step into the energy of fulfillment. This shift is powerful because the outer world is simply a reflection of your inner state. By embodying the feeling that your desire is already yours, you create the conditions for it to manifest in your physical reality. To live as though it's already done means to adopt the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that you would naturally have if your desire were already a fact. Think about how you would feel if you had already achieved your goal, whether it's a new career, a relationship, or a financial breakthrough. Would you feel confident, at peace, or excited? Whatever those emotions are, begin to cultivate them now. This is not about pretending or faking, it's about genuinely stepping into the vibration of your desired outcome. When you do this, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive, that you are already aligned with what you seek. One of the most transformative aspects of living as though it's already done is that it removes the energy of waiting from your life. So often when we are focused on a desire, we place ourselves in a state of waiting for the perfect job offer, waiting for the right person to appear, waiting for circumstances to change. But this waiting creates a sense of separation between you and your desire. It keeps you in a state of lack, reinforcing the belief that what you want is out of reach. However, when you live as though your desire has already manifested, you remove that separation. You align yourself with the present moment and the state of already having, which naturally accelerates the manifestation process. Living as though it's already done requires a shift in your internal dialogue. Instead of thinking, "I hope this happens," or "I'll be happy when it arrives," you shift to thoughts like, "I am so grateful that it has already happened," or "I feel so blessed to have received this." These subtle changes in your inner conversation have a profound impact on your subconscious mind, which is constantly shaping your outer reality. The more you affirm the reality of your desire being fulfilled, the more your subconscious works to bring that reality into being. This is because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. It simply responds to the emotions and beliefs you consistently hold. Your body language and demeanor also change when you live as though it's already done. Imagine how you would carry yourself if you had already achieved your dream. Would you walk taller? Would you have more confidence in your interactions? When you begin to embody these physical traits, you are sending a powerful message to the universe and to your subconscious mind. Your body is a vessel of energy, and the way you hold yourself has a direct impact on how you feel and what you attract. By stepping into the physical posture of someone who has already succeeded, you align your entire being with the frequency of fulfillment. Living as though it's already done also shifts the way you interact with others. When you are in the state of having, rather than wanting, your relationships become more harmonious. You no longer look to others for validation or approval because you already feel whole and complete within yourself. You are not seeking something outside of you to fill a void. Instead, you are radiating the energy of abundance and fulfillment, which naturally attracts more of the same into your life. People are drawn to your energy because it reflects confidence, joy, and contentment. This, in turn, opens doors for new opportunities, collaborations, and connections that further support your desires. One of the challenges people face when trying to live as though it's already done is overcoming doubt. Doubt is a natural part of the human experience, especially when you are stepping into a new reality that hasn't yet fully materialized. However, doubt can be transformed into faith through consistent practice. Every time you catch yourself doubting whether your desire will manifest, gently remind yourself that it's already done. Visualize yourself living in the reality of your fulfilled desire and allow that feeling to wash over you. Over time, this practice will strengthen your belief and diminish the power of doubt. Living as though it's already done also means letting go of the need to constantly check for signs or evidence that your desire is on its way. When you are in the state of having, you are not anxiously looking for proof. You are secure in the knowing that it is already yours. This doesn't mean that signs won't appear. They often will, but your focus is not on seeking them. Instead, you are focused on maintaining the feeling of fulfillment, trusting that the external manifestation will follow in due time. The more you trust, the more effortlessly things will flow into your experience. Another powerful aspect of living as though it's already done is that it frees you from the energy of desperation or neediness. When you are constantly focused on what you don't have, you emit a frequency of lack, which repels what you are trying to attract. But when you live as though your desire has already been fulfilled, you emit a frequency of abundance and contentment. This shifts the entire dynamic of your manifestation process. Instead of chasing after your desires, you become a magnet for them. The energy of having is far more attractive than the energy of wanting, and the universe responds accordingly. Living as though it's already done helps you cultivate a deep sense of peace and trust. When you are no longer waiting for external circumstances to change in order to feel good, you free yourself from the constant anxiety of wondering when or if your desires will manifest. You find joy and fulfillment in the present moment, knowing that everything you seek is already on its way. This state of inner peace is one of the most powerful tools for manifestation, as it allows you to remain open and receptive to the flow of life without resistance or struggle. Divine timing is the mysterious force that orchestrates the unfolding of events in perfect harmony with your highest good. It is the invisible hand that ensures everything happens not just at the right time, but at the best possible time for you. Often, in moments of desire and impatience, it can feel as though things are delayed, as though the universe is not responding to your call. But the truth is, divine timing works in ways that go beyond your immediate perception. It knows more than you consciously do about what is best for you, and it arranges events, people, and circumstances in a way that aligns with your ultimate growth and fulfillment. Understanding divine timing means trusting that every aspect of your life is unfolding exactly as it should. It is the deep, unshakable faith that everything you need will come to you, but only when you are truly ready to receive it. This readiness is not just about your conscious desires, it's about your entire being, your mindset, your emotions, your readiness to handle and appreciate what you are asking for. Often we think we are ready for a certain outcome, but divine timing ensures that we are not just prepared for what we want, but that we can sustain and thrive within that experience. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually the universe working behind the scenes to set the stage for something greater than you imagined. You may have a specific idea of how and when things should happen, but divine timing sees the bigger picture. It sees all the moving parts, all the intricate details that you may not be aware of. The universe knows when the right people, opportunities, and circumstances need to come together to create the perfect outcome for you. It is orchestrating this grand dance, and your job is to trust that everything is being arranged for your highest good. Divine timing also serves as a mirror for your inner state. When you are aligned with your highest self, when your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are in harmony with your desires, the universe responds in kind. The timing of your manifestations is often a reflection of your internal readiness. If there is inner resistance, doubt, or fear, these can slow the process, not because the universe is withholding anything from you, but because it is waiting for you to be fully aligned with what you seek. Just as the seasons follow a natural order, so too does the unfolding of your life. There is a time for planting, a time for growth, and a time for harvest. Rushing any part of this cycle can disrupt the natural flow, causing frustration and disappointment. But when you honor the timing of your life, trusting that everything is happening in the perfect season, You move into a state of peace and acceptance. You no longer feel the need to force or control outcomes, because you understand that the universe is always working in your favor, even when it doesn't seem like it on the surface. Divine timing is often about clearing space in your life for what is truly meant for you. Sometimes this means that certain things need to fall away before your new desires can manifest. It may be a relationship, a job, or a belief system that is no longer serving you. These things must be released in order to make room for what is aligned with your highest good. This process can feel uncomfortable, especially when you are attached to what you have or afraid of the unknown. But trust that the universe is never taking something away without the intention of replacing it with something better, something that is more in alignment with your true self. The concept of divine timing also teaches you the importance of surrender. Surrendering to the flow of life doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or desires, rather. It means letting go of the need to control how and when they manifest. When you surrender to divine timing, you allow the universe to take over, trusting that it will bring you exactly what you need at the perfect moment. This surrender is an act of faith, a recognition that there is a higher intelligence guiding your life, and that this intelligence knows what is best for you, even when you don't. Surrendering to divine timing also helps you stay present. When you are constantly focused on the future, on when something will happen, you miss the beauty and richness of the present moment. But when you trust in divine timing, you relax into the flow of life, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. You stop chasing after your desires and start enjoying the journey. This shift in perspective not only brings more peace and joy into your life, but it also accelerates the manifestation process. When you are fully present and aligned with the flow of life, you become a powerful magnet for all that you desire. Divine timing teaches patience, but not the kind of patience that feels like waiting or enduring. It is the patience that comes from a deep knowing that what is meant for you cannot miss you. It's the calm assurance that even though you may not see the evidence of your desire right now, it is on its way. This kind of patience is an act of faith, a trust in the process of life. It allows you to stay grounded and centered, even in moments of uncertainty. It's a reminder that the universe is never late, that everything happens in its own perfect time. In the grand scheme of things, divine timing is about aligning your personal desires with the flow of the universe. It's about recognizing that you are not separate from the greater whole, but an integral part of it. The timing of your life is interconnected with the timing of everything else. And when you trust in this, you move into a state of harmony with the world around you. You begin to see that delays are not setbacks, but opportunities for growth, that obstacles are not roadblocks, but stepping stones to something greater. Trusting in divine timing is trusting that the universe always has your back, and that everything is unfolding for your highest good. The idea that the universe is never late can be both comforting and challenging. It's a reminder that life is governed by forces far greater than human understanding, forces that are constantly working in harmony to bring about the highest good. When you feel as though something you deeply desire hasn't yet arrived, or when life doesn't seem to be unfolding according to your timetable, this phrase serves as a gentle but powerful truth: the universe operates in perfect timing. What you are waiting for isn't late. It's arriving precisely when it is meant to. To fully grasp this concept, it's essential to recognize that time, as we experience it, is limited by human perception. We measure our lives in minutes, hours, days, and years, always seeking to control outcomes within a specific framework. But the universe operates outside of this linear understanding of time. It functions on a level of infinite complexity, where everything is connected and nothing is random. From this broader perspective, there are no delays, no rushed moments, only the precise unfolding of events that serve your greatest potential. When you say the universe is never late, you are aligning yourself with the understanding that everything is unfolding as it should. This alignment doesn't mean passively waiting for life to happen. Instead, it's about recognizing that even in moments of waiting, there is movement. The universe is constantly at work behind the scenes, rearranging circumstances, shifting energies, and preparing you for what is to come. Often the delays you experience are not because the universe is slow or unresponsive. but because there are certain things that need to be set into motion first. It could be that the perfect opportunity, person, or situation has not yet come into alignment. Or perhaps there is something within you that needs to shift before you can fully receive what is coming. One of the most profound aspects of this truth is that the universe knows exactly what you need and when you need it. Even when you feel ready, the universe is attuned to your readiness on a deeper, energetic level. It sees beyond your conscious mind and knows if there is still inner work to be done. If there are still doubts, fears, or limiting beliefs lingering in your subconscious, the universe will give you the time and space to resolve these issues before delivering what you've been asking for. This isn't a punishment or a denial of your desires. It's the universe ensuring that you are fully prepared to receive and sustain what you seek. The universe never being late also ties into the concept of divine timing. While it may seem like nothing is happening, like your desires are slipping further away, trust that everything is unfolding in the perfect order. There is an intricate dance happening behind the scenes, one that involves not only you but everyone and everything connected to your desire. The people you are meant to meet, the opportunities you are meant to encounter, the lessons you are meant to learn, all of these elements are being orchestrated with precision. The timing of their arrival is not a random occurrence, but a carefully planned sequence designed to support your highest good. Sometimes the delays you experience are actually a blessing in disguise. What you may perceive as a frustrating wait could be the universe protecting you from a situation that is not aligned with your true purpose. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, knows when something isn't right for you, even when you believe otherwise. Trusting that the universe is never late means accepting that what you think you want may not be what you truly need at that moment. It could be that something even better is on the horizon, something you couldn't have imagined for yourself. Living in alignment with the belief that the universe is never late requires patience and faith. It's about letting go of the need to control every detail of how and when things happen. Instead of obsessing over timelines or comparing your journey to others, you begin to trust in the process. You understand that the universe has a bird's eye view of your life, seeing not only where you are but also where you're going. This broader perspective allows the universe to guide you along the path that is best suited for your growth, even if that path looks different from what you initially envisioned. Another key aspect of trusting that the universe is never late is recognizing the value of the present moment. Often when we are waiting for something to happen, we become so focused on the future that we neglect the present. We think that happiness, fulfillment, or success will come when our desire manifests, but the truth is that every moment is valuable. The present is where life is happening, where you are growing and evolving. When you trust that the universe is never late, you can release the anxiety of waiting and fully immerse yourself in the here and now. You can find peace in knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you can't see the full picture yet. In this space of trust, you allow yourself to experience life as it is, without rushing ahead or wishing for things to be different. You begin to appreciate the small steps, the subtle shifts, and the lessons that come along the way. This doesn't mean you stop desiring or striving for what you want, but rather that you learn to enjoy the journey just as much as the destination. You trust that the universe is working in your favor, that everything is coming together in its own perfect time. When you internalize the belief that the universe is never late, you'll also develop a sense of calm and resilience that you no longer feel the need to push or force things into existence. Instead, you become attuned to the natural flow of life, responding to opportunities and challenges with grace and flexibility. You know that what is meant for you will not pass you by, and this brings a deep sense of peace and confidence. The universe operates on a different timeline than the one we often impose on ourselves. It doesn't rush, but it also doesn't procrastinate. It delivers what is meant for you exactly when you are meant to receive it. Understanding this principle helps you release the pressure to achieve everything on a strict schedule. It helps you surrender to the flow of life, trusting that the universe is never late, it's always on time, working in perfect harmony with your highest good. Faith acts as a powerful connector in the journey of manifestation, serving as the bridge that transforms desire into reality. This profound concept is rooted in the understanding that the act of believing in what you want is essential for bringing it to fruition. When you desire something deeply, it is not enough to merely wish for it or hope that it will come to pass. You must cultivate an unwavering faith that it is already on its way to you. This faith is not blind belief, it is a confident conviction in the unseen, an assurance that your desires will manifest in perfect timing. At its core, faith is an internal state that transcends external circumstances. It is a deep-seated belief in your ability to attract and receive what you desire, even when there are no visible signs to support that belief. When you possess faith, you are able to navigate the uncertainties and challenges that often arise during the manifestation process with grace and resilience. You understand that the universe operates on its own timetable and that your role is to hold steadfast to your desires while allowing the process to unfold naturally. To harness the power of faith as the bridge between desire and manifestation, you must first cultivate a clear and vibrant vision of what you want. This vision serves as the foundation for your faith. It provides clarity on what you are working toward and why it matters to you. The more vivid and detailed your vision, the stronger your faith will become. Visualizing your desired outcome not only helps to solidify your intention, but also activates the energy needed for manifestation. When you can see, feel, and even taste your desires in your mind's eye, you are establishing a strong connection to them, which fuels your faith. It's crucial to understand that simply having a desire is not enough. You must actively engage your faith in the process. This means nurturing a mindset that is aligned with your desires, cultivating positive thoughts, and practicing affirmations that reinforce your belief in the inevitability of your manifestation. It involves silencing any doubts or fears that may arise and replacing them with empowering beliefs. These experiences are not indicators that your desires will not manifest, rather, they are part of the process. Each setback serves as an opportunity for growth and a test of your faith. When you encounter challenges, it is vital to remind yourself of your initial vision and the reasons behind your desires. This helps to reignite your faith and keeps you focused on the end goal. As you strengthen your faith through these trials, you build resilience, preparing yourself to receive your manifestations with grace. Community and support also play a significant role in reinforcing your faith. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who share your beliefs can create an environment that nurtures and uplifts your aspirations. When you engage with others who are also on their manifestation journeys, you are reminded that you are not alone in your pursuit. Their successes can inspire you, and their encouragement can help bolster your faith when doubts arise. Shared experiences create a collective energy that amplifies individual faith, making the journey more vibrant and fulfilling. Another key element of faith in the manifestation process is the act of gratitude. Practicing gratitude reinforces your faith by shifting your focus from what you lack to what you already have. When you express gratitude for the blessings in your life, you cultivate a mindset of abundance. This abundance mindset is essential for manifestation, as it aligns you with the energy of receiving. You begin to attract more of what you desire simply by acknowledging and appreciating what is already present in your life. Gratitude strengthens your faith by confirming to the universe that you are ready and willing to receive more. Faith requires a level of surrender. This doesn't mean giving up on your desires, rather. It involves releasing the need to control every aspect of the manifestation process. Surrendering means trusting that the universe knows what is best for you and that it is working on your behalf, even when things don't seem to be going your way. This surrender opens the door to infinite possibilities and allows for the unexpected to occur. When you let go of rigid expectations, you create space for the universe to deliver your desires in ways that may surpass your imagination. In essence, faith is the bridge that connects your desires to their manifestation. It empowers you to take inspired action, maintain a positive mindset, and navigate challenges with grace. When you believe wholeheartedly in your vision, you activate the forces of the universe that align with your desires. Faith is not a passive state, it is an active, dynamic force that propels you toward your goals. It encourages you to step boldly into your life, confident in the knowledge that your dreams are not just possible, they are inevitable. By fostering this faith, you transform your experience of desire into one of empowered creation. You learn to embrace the journey of manifestation as a beautiful unfolding rather than a stressful pursuit. As you build this bridge of faith, You create a pathway that leads not only to your desires, but also to a deeper understanding of yourself and your relationship with the universe. The act of believing becomes a powerful catalyst for change, guiding you toward a life that reflects your highest aspirations and desires. As we gather our thoughts and reflect on the journey we've undertaken today, let us remember that our desires are not merely distant dreams, they are the seeds of our reality, waiting to blossom in divine timing. By trusting in the process, nurturing our faith, and aligning our actions with our highest good, we open ourselves to the boundless possibilities that life has to offer. When we understand that everything happens in perfect alignment, we cultivate patience, allowing the universe to work in its mysterious and beautiful ways. We've learned that we've already planted the seeds of our desires, and now it's our responsibility to nourish them with unwavering faith and trust in the invisible processes at work. As we release our attachment to control, we embrace the serenity of knowing that delays are not denials, they are often divine interventions, redirecting us toward even greater outcomes. Living as though our dreams are already realized is not just an exercise in imagination, it is a profound act of faith that aligns us with the very essence of creation. When we adopt this mindset, we empower ourselves to act in alignment with our desires, reinforcing our belief that the universe is always working for us, never against us. Remember, the universe is never late, it is perfectly on time, orchestrating our experiences to ensure that what we seek arrives when we are truly ready to receive it. So let us step forward with confidence, knowing that faith is indeed the bridge between our desires and their manifestation. As we trust in divine timing, we allow our lives to unfold in ways that are far more magnificent than we could ever imagine. Embrace this journey with an open heart, and let your faith illuminate the path ahead. It is coming, my friends, and it is already on its way to you. Trust the process, believe in yourself, and watch as the universe responds to your unwavering faith. Thank you for being a part of this transformative experience today.